all the children equally. We're giving resources to some based on a strategy that may not be looking at the district as a whole. So I'm not sure you're going to find it that much shorter, the answer, but let's try it. Let's go to question number 5. Has the board taken a formal vote regarding the use of municipal versus metropolitan as the district's name? Have policies regarding the use of metropolitan been legally researched? Has the board taken responsibility to make sure that the CEO preference for a metropolitan district isn't being advanced by using resources meant for Cleveland residents and redirecting them to attract and supporting suburban residents? 3-part question.
And I'll be as quick as I can. The board took a vote on municipal versus metropolitan during the adoption of our 5-year strategic plan in the summer of 2007. The policies regarding metropolitan have been legally researched, and we use metropolitan in a also known as legal context. If there are any attorneys in the room, they certainly know what also known as means. Our formal legal name is municipal, and we use that on all of our school board meetings and our formal legal correspondence. The Ohio Department of Education recognizes us as the Cleveland Municipal School District. Our advertising purposes, we use metropolitan, but I don't think there's many people who get metropolitan and municipal mixed up in terms of Cleveland students. The goal of the metropolitan context was to be more reflective of a 21st century regional kind of approach to education, and that was the intent of that term. But if you've been to my board meetings, you know we've had a somewhat thorough discussion relative to municipal versus metropolitan. In terms of my preference for the term in advancing or using resources, the resource allocation in the district is not based upon the name of the district. The resources are aligned based upon very appropriate measurements of where needs are the greatest, and most of the resources that we've talked about tonight as it relates to the innovation schools are primarily the result of external funding. Funding that candidly we would not have been able to have gotten for our regular traditional schools, because in the view of the foundations, they do not see the creative, innovative aspect of our traditional schools. Now, whether you like that or not, I'm just being candid in terms of my view of how the corporate and foundation community view schools in our community. So if it's STEM in terms of being at GE, that $5 million that was raised by KeyBank, Eaton Corporation, and the like, who bought into the philosophy of that particular piece. Now, what our goal is, I'm just have to be brief, but our goal is to make all of our schools innovative and creative and attractive enough that we can go out and get that kind of external support for the work that we have to do. But we were responding to what we saw as trends. So no student in the district, in my opinion, certainly is being redirected or funds or anything of that nature. Now, it does require us to continue seeking support. Much of that STEM support was really in startup. We applied for a Gates grant, and Mrs. Freeman, again, Gates has identified STEM as something that they're interested in funding. That was something that we identified, so it was a natural match. And so if there's things out there, for example, if there was something out there about parent liaisons, obviously from the federal government, we'd be jumping on that, right away.